Hey guys, I've got a pretty big update for you regarding this possible super multi-map Easter egg that I showed you guys in a previous video. In the video, I showed you that on all of the ether maps, there seems to be these secret rooms. There's these doors that don't take damage, indicating that they open, and then there's a room that has furniture inside of it. All the rooms seem to have the same attributes. The doors don't take damage, and you can also get into all of them with using the nowhere but there gobblegum trick. One player will down themselves in front of the door, another player uses the elixir and it teleports them inside the room. What's interesting is that when all of the ether maps released, we could get into these rooms, but after they realized we were getting into them, they started to patch them, and they've patched the Blood of the Dead one, they've patched Classified, and now they have patched the Alpha Omega room. Right here, I'm in the room before patch, and then I think it was just this week that they've changed it. They found out we were getting in it, and they have stopped that. So when you try to use the nowhere but there, it just teleports you to a different location and you can't actually get into it. So now we have 3 secret rooms we can no longer get into. The secret room on Classified is located in the laboratory area where the pig is, and then the Blood of the Dead one is located in the infirmary. So with all of the ether maps having a secret room, we're thinking that DLC 4 is gonna have one as well. And we thought that the ether storyline maps were the only maps with secret rooms, and they're not. So huge shout out to FrightfulCrib. He messaged me the other day letting me know that looks like Chaos has some secret rooms as well. He messaged letting me know that on Voyage of Despair there's a room down underneath in the provisions that does not take explosive damage. And I've talked about this before in a couple of other videos about how if something on the map moves or has any kind of animation or can be picked up, it will not accept the explosive damage decal. What that means is that it's a type of model called a script model, and regular models take damage and they don't do anything, but script models like these doors have coding inside of them, meaning that they will do something. They do move and they do animate, and this is a fail-safe way to figure out if something is an Easter egg or not, or will move or you can pick up. It works 100% of the time, and everything on the map that has not taken explosive damage can definitely be picked up, is a part of an Easter egg, or is some kind of interactable. I'm going to show you guys what's on the inside of this door, but what I noticed on accident while I was messing around with bots is that the bots try to go inside all of these rooms. They will bang their heads on the door and like run in place trying to get in these rooms, meaning that they are a playable area. So here's the inside of the room here, and this looks a lot like the other secret rooms on the ether map where there are shadows on the ground, but the items haven't spawned in yet. You can see a shirt that's on the ground that hasn't spawned in. You do see a sock that is there, but it looks like there might be some beds or desks around the back walls. One thing to know about there being items in this room, that's really important because TREYARCH does not like to put anything on the map unless they absolutely have to, because they're trying to combat loading times and too much stuff on the map, so they take everything off if it's not needed. And I've showed you guys before in the Warden's attic on Blood of the Dead that there's nothing in that room until the door opens. You can see the shadows, but once the doors open, then the furniture spawns in, and that's probably what's going to happen here. Also, at one point, I think that when we did get in this room, there wasn't a death barrier and we were creating a pileup and using it as a glitch, and that's the same for all the other secret rooms. There's no death barrier in there, and that indicates pretty hardcore that that's a playable area, because TREYARCH loves to put death barriers absolutely everywhere on the map that you can't go to, and if there's an area without a death barrier, that means we can get in there. Here's another camera angle going into that room. Inside there you can see another door, and this is indicating that if you were in the room, this is what the door would look like if it were open. So I'm not too sure what's going on here, but there's no reason for that door to be there like that, which is again another sign that this is what we will be seeing when we go in. After Frightful had messaged me about the Voyage room here, I said, yeah, we need to go and check out the other Chaos maps and see if we can find some other secret rooms, and we absolutely did. The next one I want to show you guys is on 9, and this was kind of a duh moment because all of the secret rooms are rooms we can get into and don't have a death barrier, and I just wasn't putting the pieces together, and then when we went in there I was like, oh my gosh, it's starting to make sense. This room here next to the shield table is the one that all the glitchers love to get into to go high rounds or do whatever, and if you notice, when you try to use explosive damage on it, it won't take explosive damage. Now there's a cage door on the other side that does take explosive damage, indicating that it doesn't move. But when you go back to the other one that you can get into, it doesn't take explosive damage, meaning this thing is gonna open. I've been in this room several times and it just didn't occur to me that this links to all these secret rooms. I know the rules of death barriers, that TREYARCH puts death barriers in everything except for playable areas, and I just never realized that I was standing in probably one of the secret rooms. And what's really interesting about these rooms and these bots is that the bots kind of give it away. They try to get through the gate. They ran themselves and like run into the gate trying to go through it, and here is Diego and Shaw trying to go into it, and then Bruno tries as well. So we got the bots giving away Easter egg secrets. I believe this is the last secret room that we can actually get into. They've never patched this. They might patch it now after I've made this video, but you can use the nowhere but there and get inside of it. Now it's not very big, but you can go through this brick wall and it's much bigger on the inside, and it's a little bit decorated. It's got some stuff going on the roof. The next one I want to show you guys is on Ancient Evil, and what was interesting about this one is that I walked over to this door not thinking anything about it, and Shaw like nearly ran me over and pushed me out of the way trying to get to this door and just running into it. Unfortunately, I didn't get that footage, but that's what gave it away to me that this is the secret room. I turned around and started throwing explosives at it, and it doesn't take damage. That means the door opens. I walked over and saw Shaw just staring at it, and then Bruno was trying to run into it and go through the door, and then Diego wouldn't stop messing with it either. Again, these are all bots doing this. And you might think, oh, they're just randomly running into stuff. No, that's not true, because if there's a barrier that they can go through but it's not open yet, this is what they do. I'll show you guys what this looks like on the inside. Now we can't get into this with a glitch, but with the theater mode and using the director option, you can use the cameras to go through it. This room doesn't need to have anything in it. It could just be an empty shell, but they've got pillars in here and the roof is actually finished out, and I'll show you guys another angle from the camera. This didn't have any shadowing on the ground that would indicate like furniture or something like that, but again, this is in Greece and it's not like a place that's gonna have laundry on the ground, so I can understand not seeing that kind of thing. You can kind of see into the room from the outside without using any tricks in theater, and you can see that the roof inside is finished off, meaning that when you go in there you'll see a regular roof. There's no reason for that to be there unless we're actually gonna physically see it. Also, I tested out some of the bots on some of the ether maps to see how they would react around the doors, and on Classified, Nikolai was trying to like run me over and get inside the secret room, so that could be an indication. I didn't get this much reaction from them from Blood of the Dead or Alpha Omega, but this one, yeah, they were definitely reacting. So I have showed you all the maps through Chaos and Ether, and all of them having a secret room, and the one I haven't showed you yet is Dead of the Night. And Dead of the Night is known for having secret rooms, secret bookcases all over the place. This is the one map we haven't been able to locate something that opens that hasn't already been associated with an Easter egg. I do believe there will be a secret room or location or something on this map, but right now we just can't find it. It's pretty tricky, so it could be really well hidden. And again, there's like 4 or 5 secret rooms already, so they may designate one of those for whatever they're doing with all these secret rooms. And that brings up the question, what are they doing with these secret rooms? Clearly it's not storyline based, and when I made my other video, we only knew about the Ether secret rooms, and we thought, oh, this could be some kind of super Easter egg. If you do all the Easter eggs, you can have access to the room and it's going to give you some kind of a reward. This has the possibility of being a multi-cross map super Easter egg, but it would require you to do every single Easter egg, and I know a lot of people are worried about Classified, and I think there might be another option for what these secret rooms are. It's possible that they have nothing to do with finishing the Easter egg and everything to do with a type of banking system or locker or storage system. When I really sat down and thought about every map having a secret room and what are the possibilities with these secret rooms, how could they function and make sense, the most reasonable idea that I thought about was that these could be weapon lockers. It's something we've seen before, and it's something that would work really well for Black Ops 4. We saw the fridge in the farm on Transit, and then also the fridge on Buried. So it's possible this isn't going to be some kind of Easter egg, but just a future feature that we'll have access to. The way that the door opens is that we might have to pay a really high price, but then we'll have one weapon that we're storing in there and we can use across all of the maps, regardless of storyline. This system would be perfect for Black Ops 4 because there is so much to do with leveling up these guns, and it can be really tricky trying to dig a gun out of a box and get it every time. This would help out so much. You could just get the gun, put it in the locker, and keep using the gun and working on it without having to dig it out of the box every time. So I do think that's a reasonable idea for these secret rooms. And going back to it possibly being a banking system, because that's something we have seen in Black Ops 2, I don't think that's something they would be interested in doing because some of their microtransactions are tied up into elixirs, and elixirs are what gives us points and extra money. So they definitely want to keep us focused on that and making money or microtransactions through that, and not supplying us with easy points through a banking system. And they have done something like this where they added a feature later on in Zombies, and BO2 for Die Rise, they didn't add the banking system until much later on. Also, I don't want to abandon the idea that this is a super Easter egg. It might be a situation where you have to complete the Easter egg on that map and then you'll have access to that room. That's a very real possibility. But I bet we'll start seeing something about this around DLC 4. And again, I'm going to be excited to find that secret room on the name map. But let me know what you guys think about this, and we'll see you next video.
Thank you for watching Glitching Queen's video. Hoorah!